Well,
salutes.
Cheers, gentlemen.
cheers.
Staff
Another year.
meeting. Another year. Here we are. The year of King's Pride.
Yeah.
Isn't that something, Art?
COVID and King's Pride.
It's not going to be one where we're going to forget, though. So, you know,
Good God.
we'll be really thinking back on it and going like, remember that COVID King's Pride year?
Yeah.
Mhm. I do. I do. You see the gray on my chin.
Yeah.
Yes, so our viewers will notice, a little bit of extra weathering on us.
Yeah,
but
it's only been a year. It might look like
I
more,
think we
but
look good for the wear.
right.
I think we do.
We survived.
we definitely survived. So, behind schedule, come to find out.
According to our original schedule, like if we're reflecting back a year in our original schedule of, hey, we're gonna take on this project, and in a year we're gonna be selling this thing and wiping our hands of it. Job well done. Yes, we're behind schedule, but really, you know, I think it's okay that we're not done.
I think it was mission accomplished. Even COVID, we put students to work.
We did.
They
Yep.
learned
Students to
stuff.
work. They did.
They did.
And,
So
and we have the pile of parts to prove it.
we have the pile of parts. We did. There's a few learning outcomes, learning targets.
Yep.
Something that we hit that we wouldn't do again. Anything come to mind?
Where would you like to start?
Yeah,
At the top of the mast?
Just 3.
Or at the keel?
Yeah. So,
Because everything in between has been an adventure. We've done some nice things to that boat, and I think, but it's going to be, now's the long slog. Now's the part where you're supposed to take your time and do it well, and we're getting there. So I think it's going to be good.
yeah. I don't think I would buy a non-factory boat again for the students because
you
of.
learn a lot about a person when you start going about how did they do. Oh, this is how they did that. Isn't that fascinating? Stuff like that.
But we're making it better at the end of the day.
Amazing.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, having been now on a factory twin made over in Taiwan, our boat's going to be way better because you can actually work on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be 3 feet tall. You can actually be a human and go places.
Yeah, the thing that I found frustrating is the supply chain, and that back to our COVID stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just
That
getting
was not
parts.
expected. I wasn't expected there to be a
Shortage of
I
everything.
don't know where they're using through hulls on people in the COVID world, but there's apparently
Can't buy them.
can't buy a through hull.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we ran into that with Windows and everything else.
Yeah.
So, but there's some long-standing traditions at our staff meetings in Marine Tech. Are you guys gonna work on the boat all summer?
My boat. After I get done with my van, then I move on with my boat. And
So some boat trips are in your future.
Some traveling is going to be good. Yeah.
And I'll be not out of choice, but out of necessity. I'll be working on my boat up in Alaska, fishing on it. And the working, of course, is just to keep the darn thing running. But yeah, so of course I got my job in Alaska to go try to catch some wonderful salmon. So I'll be there for the next couple months.
That'll be fun.
And when I get back in August, don't expect me on King's Pride.
No, I figure
We'll be back to her in the fall.
in the
Yeah.
fall. I think so. I think we all are in agreement this year.
Yeah.
We call it a success.
Yeah.
We lost all of our workers at the end there. They're all in the yards, right? Everybody's gainfully employed.
Every yard screams for workers, and we
Yep.
can't keep them all to be working for us for free. So
We still have a month to go, and the only people left are us 3 that are going to do any
Yep.
work on the boat. So I think it's time to make Plan B, and going forward with what do we want it to look like next year.
And again, I think the fact that we're not done with it is not a bad thing. You got to look at the silver lining here, guys, and that is, I think it's going to work out great to move, these projects going forward and getting all these systems installed to match up with our content. Right in the fall, I've got rigging class. This is perfect that we don't have the mast put back on yet. We're going to be putting on the new furler, the brand new rigging that can go beautifully with next year's cohort in the rigging class. Huh?
without having to take it all apart.
Without having to, take it all.
Now
Which
you have a
turns
box.
out that takes some time.
Now you have a box of parts that you get to put back together.
Yeah, I know. And different people putting them together.
Yeah, that's always that. If you can pull that off,
Yeah.
now you're.
I hope we still have the footage of the pre-destruction.
Luckily, the mast is together. It's the boom,
Yeah.
which is just a shorter mast, but that's the one that we're gonna have.
Maybe a couple winches sitting in a box that's assembled somewhere.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the front room.
I think I saw one.
absolutely. Yeah, I think we have a better sense now of the boat as a whole, where we're trying to go, what works, what doesn't work. And I even made that progress board.
I know, that's been huge. So
I would love to start with a blank piece of paper, and not today, because you don't want to rush these things. But I would love to have another celebratory beer where we discuss the actual step one. We're going to do this.
item list.
And then we can populate it with, all right, well, what are we can resource and stuff like that, because we can probably make the labor happen, but if we run aground on through
You
hulls,
gotta have it defined, yeah.
Yeah.
and
Well, and that's just the thing. The supplies are really messed up, and I don't see that ending by next fall either. It might take longer. You know, so having the list of things we need, yes, the sooner we can get on that, the better.
Yeah.
And for students, for doing work orders, you know, we got big stuff done. Engines in, you know, the windows are done. The deck has all been basically resealed. So
Right.
it's weather tight.
All new chain
Refrigeration in, but we need to do wiring. And so I'm with you. Let's make a list, and then we can assign, you know, students individual tasks.
that was
our
our
goal.
goal.
But we're going to, you know, the engine sitting there is perfect and it's painted, but now it's like individual stuff with the fuel system, with the electrical, the high output alternator, the
Water
whole,
lift muffler, so on and so forth.
I think it's going to be greater number of tasks, but easier to accomplish and to see moving on our project board going forward, to make sure also we don't miss anything.
Yeah.
So,
And more satisfying work also. You know, when you're working and then accomplishing something, you can go, hey, look at that, as opposed to what lots of this year was, which was a heck of a lot of working and just seeing things in a further deepened state of chaos, right?
And by the way, most of the students didn't come to learn how to sand and grind and
yeah,
paint.
and by the way, hats off. The students did participate a lot, but this guy over here, myself and Matt, you see in the videos who did a lot of that work. We're not running a sweatshop, so we kicked in and did a huge percentage of that work, so our students got authentic learning. They still had to take corroded old fasteners apart and learn what that was all about.
But that's precious, and try to label boards as they come off, whether we can read their writing.
When we put it back together.
Separate conversation. But, you know, teak is teak. Sand, what is it?
Pound to fit, paint to match.
There you go. That's it was home built. Maybe there'll be that je ne sais quoi about it. Hopefully it doesn't squeak when it's in a seaway. That's my goal. I just want to make sure it doesn't squeak and rattle all the time. But it'll be good.
It'll be good.
It'll be great. And yeah, hats off to you guys. I feel like we compromised zero. Like if we thought, even if it took months extra time or an extra wheelbarrow of money, the budget's still a little
we're working on
little thin there.
Luckily the beers are a different budget category.
Yeah. So, but we haven't compromised on the quality of the product that's going to come out, and our students see that. And that to me is worth a lot of it. Right there.
Absolutely.
You can fix any problem if you just think about it long enough. And as long
Enough
as
blood, sweat, tears, and money.
As long as you trust the math, you won't be an inch and a half lower. Engine mounts turns out.
Yeah. So
it just looked
perfect. Well, it's been great for us, for the YouTube. Thanks to all our people that are following us and keeping an eye. We're going to have a whole nother year of videos. We're up to 40 some, almost 50 for just the sailboat.
They're going to get better.
Yeah.
They're going to get so much better.
I'm not
it's
so
going to be
sure.
more than
the videos? No, they're the same. Point and shoot. That's all we do.
Well, yeah.
The editor's not in the budget
but
yet.
I think
so.
with the subject of the content,
the content, the quality,
cool,
yes.
because,
Why we make these decisions.
Yep. And some of it is because Mr. King drilled the hole there to begin with, and now we have to live with that hole. But we'll make it better, and
This
it's going to be great.
It's going out in the ocean again.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's going to be set up way better. For sure.
Well, gentlemen, enjoy your summer for
Absolutely.
sure.
Thanks,
And
Mike.
Cheers.
glad we
Well
have a
done.
plan to take a little break and regroup in the fall.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. See ya.
Good day. Cheers now.